Hello everyone, welcome back to another Wii U editorial. For those who saw my last video, yes, I'm pretty much doing this the same day, but I need to get recording done fast for these because I could have a pretty busy week. But this will be, obviously, this will be uploaded on a later date, but we're going to be doing another Switch Tour editorial. I want to do one more. There probably will be more if something big comes up, but I want to do just an information dump here about some experience we had before the launch, because it is less than 2 weeks away. Pretty big stuff. But, to talk about it, I just want to talk about some things that happened. Now, we talked a lot about the advertisement, which is good, and I'm still seeing them. I'm seeing them on YouTube. I saw them on, I saw them when I was watching cable television. I saw them when I was watching stuff on Apple TV, some streaming sites or whatever. And it's really cool how often I'm seeing Nintendo Switch advertisements. Again, so much better than what they did with the Wii U. They're very, just to reiterate really quick on the last video, they're very good with making sure that people know the Switch exists and what it is. They're definitely making up for their mistakes with the Wii U, and I like that. I like when companies learn what their faults were, because they spent a long time during the Wii U's lifespan being in denial about the issues we had. And I don't mean that like they're saying, oh, this Wii U successful. Well, there it is not failing. No, they knew it was failing. It's just they didn't want to admit it was their shortcomings with explaining the console and advertising the console. And for a long time, even they were saying, especially Reggie was saying, that the Wii U, the name wasn't the problem, but it was. It wasn't the largest problem. Some people say that is. I don't think so, but it was a problem. Yeah, so moving on, a couple things I want to talk about. There has been, for those who don't know, there has been an unboxing video, an early one. But now we realize that now we're learning that that was actually stolen. So, like what happened with some Amiibo a while back, I don't know if I explained that in an Amiibo View series or something, but there was just a robbery of burglary or whatever legal definition fits it. Someone stole some units. There was an example of. Also, there was an example of another leak where a store got it early and accidentally sent it to someone who ordered it online for mailing. So some people like a very small handful of people have gotten the Switch. And there's a few things we've gotten from it, even though they really shouldn't be doing that. At least the early store thing was an accident, because a lot of times for Pokemon games, at least since X and Y, we've been seeing that, where people have been selling them early just because they want to make a few bucks, which, that wasn't cool. But at least there were accidents. But we got a few things out of it. We got a new unboxing video. And there's another example where someone actually was able to take it apart. There's actually some people, too, who... I heard one of them lost their job, or one of them got suspended or something. But there were people who showed off what the cartridges look like, which are... They're SD cards. I so called it. I'm just saying, taking credit for it, even though a lot of other people said it, too. I'm not the only one in this bandwagon, but I still want to take credit for it. They look exactly like a slightly modified SD card, like I knew they would be. And they are going to come with different memory lengths, like I said they would, and I'm very happy about that, because that means less strain on the hard drive. And what I really like, just really quick side point, what I really like, and I want to just talk about it, because remember, this is just some dump, I want to say, of information that we've been learning. All about the Switch experience, pre-launch and forward. What I like is, the Wii U, I had to buy an external hard drive, which was very easily accessible. It was sold for a while at GameStops and Best Buys. It was a external hard drive specifically made for Wii U formatting. And you can get any... What I like about the Wii U, especially compared to other consoles this generation, is you could actually use any external hard drive you want. You can even use memory cards. Flash drives, which is great. And a lot of them you have to plug into USB ports, so it takes up 2 out of 4 of the USB ports on the Wii U. One thing, on the other hand, the Switch I'm nervous about is how many USB ports that's going to be. I like having 4 USB ports on the Wii U, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And I'm hoping at least the port, I imagine that it's pretty much confirmed, more on the plot dump here, see, I can keep things consistent. I'm sorry if I'm a little all over the place, but that's the point of this video, really. Is the one thing that's confirmed about the Switch is it's going to use a USB-C port. It's a very new style of USB, and it's very nice, very efficient. Even my Apple TV the newest generation of ones are using USB-C. It's very nice. That's going to be the port they use to connect the Switch to the to the TV on the dock. But it has been reported, don't quote me on this, but it has been reported that there are going to be regular USB ports on the dock, but I'm wondering how many. They do say, I have heard rumors that you can use flash drives, but it does look like with the 3DS, SD cards will be more prevalent, and I like that. Honestly, whatever the highest amount of memory, which rumors had it was 2 terabytes, I would like that. I doubt it, but I like that. Whatever the highest amount, I will buy an SD card right away and throw it in there. I want lots of memory. Not just because I want to put a lot of games in there, which I do, but also because I want the ability to have a fast-moving processor. My new 3DS XL, I have a 32 gig micro SD card. And I didn't do it to save room. I still have plenty of room with the old 16 one I bought, but I want it to move faster, and it does, because that's the beauty of having so much memory available. It's less for the hard drive to process at a time, and because there's a lot of space, it's just faster. Like, I can't tell you specifically why, because I'm not a computer guy. I didn't study anything for computers hardware wise, but it just makes things run faster. So a lot of comparisons with memory there, which I like. Am I one of the people that felt the Switch should have used a terabyte like the modern consoles do? Yeah, kind of, but I do see why they really probably aren't, because it is meant to also be carried around with you. And you can't just have memory expansion on the dock, just because it'll limit what'll happen when you have it on with you. Which is, it's just one of those tug-of-war things you have to do when you have a console that has a portability, a handheld mode, as Nintendo's putting it. So yeah, I went on a bit of a tangent there, but point is, like I said, a lot of leaks have been happening that I just want to talk about. And, leaks are normal for any big thing like this, especially in the game community, which I have shown my disdain for in the past, but leaks also show that there's interest. And, I also want to talk about the pre-orders. I have talked a little bit about the pre-orders. Lots of pre-orders have been sold out everywhere. I take that with a grain of salt, because the same thing happened with the Wii U. I remember North American Wii U pre-orders sold out. Here, sold out, and then nothing. I've said this before, but just reiterating. But also, we got the unboxing video. Someone was actually able to tear open the Wii U and show off its chips and everything. I didn't get to check that out, but it's something available for people who want to watch it. We saw like I said before, we saw what the cartridges look like. Very nice. That's where the tangent started. And we also got to look at the user interface a little bit, which is cool, because apparently with your Nintendo Network ID, you can just use more than just your Mii now. I guess they're not gonna make people make a Mii anymore for the Nintendo Network ID, because they're also gonna, which I'm gonna use anyway, and I'm sure a lot of people are, especially for Wii U owners. But you're allowed to use Nintendo characters. It reminds me a lot about the PlayStation, how they do it. But yeah, you get a picture to represent your Nintendo Network ID. And speaking of Nintendo Network ID, huzzah! The Switch has been confirmed to now allow your Nintendo Network ID to be directly linked to your eShop account and your Switch. Which means when you check online, you can buy games and not have a download code down later. It immediately downloads to be opened in your Switch. Everything's connected. This is what we wanted. This is what Nintendo fans wanted for a long time. Now, that does mean the risk of what happens to things at times to things like Sony and Microsoft. But, as always, just don't put your any of your credit card or debit card information on your console stored, and you'll be okay. And change your password when they tell you to. There has been a recent news with Nintendo in general, there has been rumored hacks into a very small handful of Nintendo Network IDs, and, that was resolved quickly. No, nothing damaging there. But, I'm confident now, too, that now that we have to pay for internet online services, for a very cheap price, thankfully, yearly, too, we get to see a little more security. I'm confident, at least, we'll see more security, as well as an upgrade in performance out of Nintendo's online connectivity. But yeah, a lot to talk about here. The Switch has been shown off a lot more light shining on it. Again, like I've written in a recent blog, I really do feel like Nintendo should just say this information without us having to leak it out to the public. Because it's just an annoying part of Nintendo, especially when they're showing off their consoles. We get excited about it, and we have billions of questions that they don't explain, and then they never explain it. And, fine, but, these leaks wouldn't happen if they just did that. And, they don't want their competitors, blah, blah, blah. Fine, I get their reasoning. It is a justified reasoning. I'll always defend that. But at the same time, I do also agree with the people who say, just stop with the secrecy. It's annoying. We want to know. But, things were confirmed. Like that thing with the Nintendo Network ID connectivity thing is confirmed by Nintendo. But, bottom line, it's good stuff. A lot of promising things. It's the future of Nintendo. It's the more modern Nintendo we've been noticing. They still have their old habits a little bit, but they're learning and they're growing. And I can't wait to see what the Switch community is going to look like. A lot of people are captured by it. A lot of people want it. And not a lot of people are going to get it in March, but when that real launch in December happens, we're going to see I'm confident we'll see a big increase. But, speaking of competitors, I think this is probably the last thing I want to talk about. There was a recent patent made by Sony about some people are rumoring it to be the PS Vita 2, which it's a large screen with two, it looks like they split PS4, DualShock 4 in half and put it on the sides of a large screen, which is why people call it the rumored Vita 2. It's clearly, people have to remember, a lot of people have been uproar about this because it's another example of Sony copying Nintendo. As a Nintendo fan, I've been very consistent with this. I've always said it's not fair to say that to Sony. I also own a PS3. I'm also a fan of Sony products. I like Sony. They're great hardware manufacturers. But I'm just the guy who plays more Nintendo than I do Sony. That's just me. But either way, I will defend Sony. They have every right to patent something to get ready for its possible success. Like the PlayStation VR is actually more successful than the first example of it, the Oculus Rift. It's fair. The PlayStation move was a fair move. The motion control became very popular. They should be allowed to explore these ideas. Because, us as Nintendo fans, we always say, these developers should be willing to use the technology the Nintendo's making to make more different, interesting games. But then they also say, Sony has to stop doing copying Nintendo. But, that's just what we're telling them to do. They should experiment with new ideas. And if Sony's doing it too, that means developers will make more games, It's like people have to be more consistent with that. But yeah, check it out. Check all these leaks out. Check everything out. It's just more part of the pre-launch Switch experience. And that's why I make videos. That's why I'm making a video like this. This little information dump. I'm sorry, I know it's all over the place, but that was the intention. I wanted to show, like I said a billion times in these other videos, I want to show what it was like in the generation of the console. A Switch tour doesn't only mean, trust me, what I will be doing a lot, is showing off the console, what it can do, what it has, how the user interface works, how the games work, how you switch out the games, how it's plugged in, all that crap. But more importantly, I want to show the experience the players had. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do that with the Wii U, and I'm sorry, I know I'm reiterating a lot of things I said in the past, but unfortunately I didn't get to do that with the Wii U because I did it a couple years later because I thought, this console's starting to get some momentum when I started the Wii U Tour series, and I want to show people what it can do and how, not by playing games because I did that, but by showing the settings, the internet connectivity, the Miiverse, the eShop, and I'll be doing that all again with the Switch. But now that I have an opportunity to do this pre-launch, I wanted to show it off. I wanted to show off what people like me, at least. I can't speak for all people, obviously, but at least from my perspective, because I know people share my perspective, like any other perspective. But I wanted to show what we're thinking, what we were doing, how excited we were. It's a couple weeks away. So yeah, that's it for that. Just a couple news bits here. I am getting a midnight release of the Switch. I wanted to mention that because that means right away I will have the Switch right on the dot of March 3rd. I will be purchasing 1-2 Switch and Breath of the Wild. Oh god. I just think of how that will set me back, probably an entire month, all that money. Lately, though, I have been adding more into my pre-order payments, slowly and surely, just to help me out a little bit. Which I recommend all people do when they buy expensive things especially from GameStop. who offers pre-orders. You know, it's really cool that they let you add more money onto your thing to like, so you can make it cheaper when you're ready to buy it at that time. And again, I'm so happy I have a lot of saved gift cards, because you know, people know easy gift for me is a GameStop gift card or something. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting it at launch. But here's the thing: I want people to be aware. I have to get to work very early the next morning, so the unboxing video I'll probably do really quickly that night when I get home. But we probably won't see a Wii U tour video, the first Wii U tour video, until later, because what I always wanted to do with the Wii U in a Wii U tour was I wanted to show off how the data work, how the initial turn on worked. And unfortunately, the Switch isn't going to have what the Wii U had, but I also wanted to really show off the data transfer between the Wii and the Wii U, because it was so cool. It was this awesome animation with these little Pikmin grabbing all your data, and it was going through this huge building complex that was supposed to be the Wii, and then it went through tubes and tunnels and everything to get to the new Wii U. You know, it was like Switch. It was like it was moving. It was like moving from one building to another. It was really cool. But yeah, you know. But yeah, I just want people to be aware of that. My schedule's gonna be a little weird with the first Wii U tours. But there will be probably a lot of them. I'm gonna try to separate them by week, because there's a lot to do in the first month and everything. But again, for those who never watch Wii U tour, what's gonna happen when I actually get the console is you're probably not gonna see my face that much anymore. But probably not at all even, because I'll just have the screen up like I did for Wii U tours. I just have the game and my commentary over the console. And I'm going to go through the settings, say here's how you connect to the internet, here's how you start the new phone app. I'm probably also going to show off the phone app, if I can. I don't know if I can record that mobile efficiently, but I can record it. And I'm going to show that off. Maybe I'll only do it by screenshots, unfortunately, but I'm going to show whenever a console updates and it adds new content, I'm going to show that off too. Like that's where the meat of the Wii U tours was. Like when there was a update to get rid of Nintendo TV, I simply showed off what the home screen looked like without it. And when it was my birthday, I actually made a video showing what the Wii U does. That's gonna be a video a long time from now. But like if it came out last Christmas, the Switch, I would be doing that right a couple weeks ago. But bottom line, you know, that's how it's gonna work. I don't know if this will be the last of the pre-launch videos, but it's not the last of the editorials, so that's it. So thank you guys for watching, and almost to that Switch. We're on the final countdown.